Games takes years to develop and release. The first ever video game appeared in 1971. After that, the future changed and people realized that this could be a huge untapped market. When a player truly understands how a video game is made, it can change their perspective on how they play or view that video game. Video games are created through a step-by-step process that includes planning, designing, coding, and testing before they are released to players. The first step in creating a video game is planning the idea and concept. When brainstorming or figuring out a concept for a video game, it can take 1 to 3 months to fully complete a developer's concept. When you finally finish your concept, now it's time to try and figure out the best and most enjoyable way to play the game. Is it going to be a story game, an online PvP, a battle royale, etc.? When planning and developing a game, you have to think about what engine you want this game to be played on. This can depend on if it's a bigger game that will need more power and more FPS to truly enjoy the game. This is only the first part of creating a game and merely the start. The next part is developers and artists create the look and feel of the video game. The theme is ultimately what can make a game look good on paper and turn it into something magical. The theme is lighting, coloring, and the overall vibe of the game. The theme depicts if a player will be interested in the game or not. The player looks at the game and decides if this is his style or not. If the developer can make a game that's in a player's style, then the player is more likely to enjoy the game and truly get into it. Sound effects and graphics all have a huge part on it. If someone will dive into the immersive feel of a game, these effects can take up to 6 to 8 months to be put into place and often are changed even when the game is fully released. This is a huge step in creating video games and should not be overlooked. The third part of creating a video game is the coding and programming. This is what actually makes the game work. In complex video games, developers often have to write over 1 million lines of code just for the character to move the desired way. This process alone can take months, even up to years. One small misinput and the game can be altered a great deal. The developers then must think about mechanics. Mechanics make up a great deal and feel for the game. The mechanics to determine how to move, and this can really help a player dive into a game. If the mechanics are up to their standards, it can help the game be successful. Now the game is starting to take shape. The game has its main framing done. Before releasing video games, the developers must test it. They look for bugs, potential coding issues, and mechanical problems. This process alone is tedious. To make sure the game is perfect and has no defects is a process in which should be done 100 times over. Developers can't afford a mistake at this stage. When developers make mistakes in the stage, it can cost them. If they release a game with mistakes, it can make the player uninterested and disappointed with the game. At this stage, the game is ready for launch or pre-release. This is when the game is released to the public and they can test the game. Most games don't fully launch at this time. The developers like to see how players react to it, then they change anything they need, then they fully release it. This was the final stage to create and launch the game, not necessarily run the game for future updates or bug fixes. All these steps are how video games are created and developed. It is a time-consuming process and tedious process that is challenging. First, you have to get the concept, then you have to dial in the theme, then coding and programming, then you have to test it, then you have to pre-release. Finally, you have to fully release the game. Creating a video game is just like making any other big production film, if not harder. It takes hundreds of people to help create one. From voice acting to programmers to developing teams, it's a huge process. Those are some steps on how video games are created and developed. Next time you play a video game, think about all that went into it.